There's been a lot of speculation in the media on the latest news. The US and Armenia officially upgraded their relations from strategic dialogue to strategic partnership. Although the signed charter is in the public domain, it gave birth to much controversy and we decided to clarify what's true and what's not. Advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Vahan Hunanyan, will shed light on the intricacies of the charter. Different circles take credit for this achievement of Armenian diplomacy, trying to wrench the laurels from the ruling party. A gentle clarification required here. Roughly a week ago, Armenia and the United States signed a charter on strategic cooperation. How did the charter come to fruition?
Okay, yes, let's go a bit back to history. Actually, in 2019, the United States and Armenia established strategic dialogue format. And here I want to mention that this happened during the Trump administration, the first Trump administration. This is a format that created opportunity for Armenia and the United States to engage with each other systematically and discuss the important priorities and the programs that were going to be implemented within the parties. So the working groups were meeting and discussing, and every year there was a capstone meeting between the parties. And actually, during the last 4 or 5 years, our relationship continuously were growing based on shared values and common interests. And this is only normal because both Armenia and the United States are democracies and naturally are drawn to each other. But it's not only about values, but also about economics. I should mention that starting from 2020, our trade between two countries have risen 4 times. It's very important. So another important milestone was achieved last year when April 5th, 2024, there was a high-level meeting between Prime Minister of Armenia, Nikol Pashinyan, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. So during this meeting, the United States and European Union, they reaffirmed their support for Armenia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, democracy, and socio-economic resilience, and also signaled that Armenia is a key partner in the region. And building on this momentum, in June 2024, there was a capstone meeting of this strategic dialogue between Armenia and the United States in Yerevan. And Minister of Foreign Affairs Arad Mirzoyan and Jim O'Brien, Assistant Secretary of State, they publicly announced that Armenia and the United States want to elevate their relationship to a higher level, to the level of strategic partnership. So starting from that point, the parties, the State Department, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Armenia, Armenian and US state structures started to negotiate, to draft a text. And after the, I mean, you know how the diplomacy works, this words here and the comma here, etc., etc. Long process. Anyway, at the end of the day, we have this strategic partnership charter that was signed, as you mentioned, January 14th in Washington, D.C., between Armenia and the United States. I should mention that this is a really historic document for Armenia and United States relationship. Why historic? Because starting from independence, now we have the highest level of relations between Armenia and the United States. And I'm confident that going forward, this relationship will continue to grow and bear new fruits.
While the world is watching closely every move Trump makes in Armenia, one of the key questions is what fate will befall the charter, since it's the legacy of Democrats to Republicans. So it was only logical that strategic dialogue should be upgraded to strategic partnership. It would be the next logical step to expect. However, the charter was signed with the outgoing Biden administration. Do you believe that Trump administration, Trump is already inaugurated, will commit to the legacy they received from the Democrats?
Okay. First and foremost, we should mention that this is not a document between Biden administration and Armenia. This is a document between the United States of America and Republic of Armenia. So this is a strategic partnership between two countries, not between administrations or governments.
But Trump is known for his unpredictable behavior.
Anyway, let me continue here. We also should mention that within the United States system in America, when the new president is elected and the new administration is coming, there is a transition period, roughly a 2 months, 3 months period, starting from November, after the elections. And during this transition period, there is a transition team that learns, and that knowledge of the policy processes, agreements, everything is transferred from the old administration to the new administration. So here I want to pose a rhetorical question. Does anybody really believe that within the United States, one of the oldest democracies, country with a strong institutional memory and institutions, old administration will do something that the new administration won't be aware of? I think it's obvious, and we don't need really to answer this question.
Several sectors of cooperation are outlined in the document: economy, democratic reforms, defense and security, nuclear energy, creative and high technology. What exactly does Armenia get? Is this enhanced border security? Is this a modular, a nuclear plant? What is it exactly? Mm-hmm. What does this document change for Armenia?
I think it changes a lot. But here we need to go from the higher level to the lower level, and we need to understand a couple of things, most importantly. First and foremost, strategic partnership charter is not an action plan. There are no, in majority of cases, there are no specific actions that you do. It's a strategic level document. There are many, many priorities, there are many, many directions within this document that you need to utilize, you need to work on, and give a more meat to this everything. And for this, there is a strategic partnership charter commission is created between two governments. So two government officials will meet, and topic by topic will discuss how they can go further deeper into this cooperation. Anyway, if we tried to parse it out how many, what important directions there are. I can say there is economy, there is energy, there is connectivity, defense and security, democracy, justice and human rights, and people-to-people contacts. So I brought a charter actually with me, and we can we can't go into the every detail, unfortunately, because it's quite long and the document is available publicly, so everybody can take a look. But there are a couple of important things here. So, for example, if we go into the economics sector, which is the section number 2, it's written that Armenia and the United States intend to identify strategic opportunities to increase bilateral trade and investment. There is also mentioned we need to start a joint dialogue on greater access to U.S. commerce export control technology by trusted companies operating in Armenia. So this, for example, is very important for our IT sector. So it means that United States will create the opportunity for Armenian companies to get greater access to the high technology that is very cutting edge in the United States. Also, we have food security, we have agricultural trade, very important directions for overall Armenia's resilience and Armenia's security, like economic security. We have energy, and I should say that here we have nuclear, we have renewables, and we have energy connectivity. And you also remember that during the signing ceremony, just before the signing, both Secretary Blinken and Minister Mirzoyan announced that Armenia and the United States are starting negotiations around 123, so-called 123 agreement, which is, if you want, for example, this is specific U.S. situation. If you want to get United States technology and materials in nuclear, you have to sign this agreement. So here we are getting access to the United States technology in nuclear. Also very important when we talk about connectivity, and I think this is also recognition of Armenia's priorities, here is the mentioning of a Crossroads of Peace project, because in Section 2, Article 5, we read that the parties intend to deepen cooperation aimed at integration of Armenia into wider regional transport networks and connectivity initiatives, in particular through strong political support and promotion of Armenia's Crossroads of Peace project. Again, there is a defense and security, and here we have bilateral security consultations, military training, we have recognition of support for Armenia's strengthening of defense, etc., etc. We have cybersecurity initiatives, we have lots of stuff going in democracy and justice, so there will be cooperation on judicial impartiality, anti-corruption. In people-to-people contact, we have an increase of higher education exchanges, research, etc., etc. So, but again, all this is only small part what we are getting. In reality, we will gather together in this commission and step by step start to implement it, and step by step have new initiatives.
The advisor to the foreign minister touches a sore spot for the country. Armenia is still in blockade by Turkey and Azerbaijan. Will the US support for connectivity translate into the obstructing the lungs of the country? Time will show. Clearly, this is a very comprehensive document and a very comprehensive line of work, so to speak, and will help build resilience of the country over long term. Mm-hmm. But in the short term, does this help to reduce security threats?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, of course, just I want to mention that I was following the debates. This is my work, to follow the debates also on this topic, yes, United States and Armenia-United States strategic partnership, and there was lots of discussion whether this is giving Armenia security guarantees, this or that, whether we are saved or not. I mean, sometimes it was like going into the crazy territory, I don't know. But we need to just reiterate, and we need to understand what this document is and what this document is not in terms of security. This is not a military alliance. This is not a defense pact. It doesn't mean that we have an obligation, both Armenia and United States, to support each other, to send army to support each other in case of if some of the countries are attacked by a third party. So it's a not hard security agreement. But on the other hand, this is something that will, in a long term, but also in a short term, create lots of political deterrence for Armenia. It will create symbolically lots of opportunities, not only symbolically. Symbolically, it will give us a status of a strategic partners of the United States. But also in a long term, it will create opportunities to increase our resilience. And it is also important that I think one of the most important underlying themes of this document is the principles of partnership. And within the first point of the principles of partnership, we read the following. Let me read just to have it verbatim. So, support for each other's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity constitute the foundation of our bilateral relations. This is Article 1. And in the same principles of the partnership, we read for Article 4. A strong, independent, sovereign, and democratic Armenia, capable of defending its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and inviolability of internationally recognized border, is essential for lasting regional security and prosperity. This is something that both Armenia and the United States share. This is a principle of our partnership. And there's a lot that is coming from here.
While Yerevan celebrates the partnership and hopes to rebuild resilience, neighboring Baku undermines the Democrats and makes references to Republicans, hoping for carte blanche in the region. With ethnic cleansing in Nagorno-Karabakh on his hands, Aliyev vows a shared value system with Trump. Something tells me President Trump, who came to power promising peace through strength, might not find this comparison a compliment. Speaking of American presidents, As Reagan once stated, quote, "We know only too well that war comes not when the forces of freedom are strong, but when they are weak. It is then that tyrants are tempted," unquote. But back to US-Armenia relations. How would you assess the prospects of Armenia's cooperation with Trump's administration? Most importantly, do you think that they are committed to bring peace to South Caucasus?
Well, first and foremost, we already have seen that there were initial contacts between the Prime Minister Pashinyan and President Trump. First, telephone call during which they discussed the regional situation and the US-Armenia relationship. Next, in December, during the reopening of the Notre Dame de Paris, there was a meeting in Paris between them. So this is very promising, and we have initial lines of communications established, let me say it this way, and I am confident that going forward, because just yesterday President Trump was inaugurated as 47th President of the United States, this relationship would continue to grow. Again, just yesterday, the first member of Trump cabinet was approved by Senate. It's Senator Marco Rubio, and we are looking forward to working with him, with the State Department and overall new US administration to utilize the goals, the initiatives, and all the underlying philosophy of our strategic partnership and go even beyond this. One of the most important underlying themes of Trump's new administration is this philosophy, new doctrine called peace through strength. And this is something that really resonates with Armenia. And I also should mention that just yesterday during the inauguration speech, President Trump said that his most precious legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier, peacemaker. So it's very important. And here, I think that both Armenia and United States share this vision of a stable, prosperous, and secure South Caucasus. And of course, we together hope to work towards this goal, towards this shared objective.
If we see the strategic document as a political deal, what's on our part? What is it that we are supposed to give in return for all the favors, so to speak?
I think this is a document based on our shared values and common interests. So there is no give and take thing. This is a genuine relationship between Armenia and the United States, where we have common goals, let me say this way, goals in terms of shared prosperity, democracy, and stability. And together, we are working towards these goals. This is the realization of this. I mean, of course, before that, also Armenia and the United States were sharing these goals. And I also want to say that this is not the end goal by itself, this document. This is not an end goal. It's just a registration of this success. It's kind of a milestone. But in diplomacy, it is a process. We start from somewhere, we have a milestone, KPIs, let me say, and after that we go beyond and more and more and more. So this is a bilateral document that is in interest of people of Armenia, in interest of a people of the United States of America. This is for our shared prosperity, democracy, and stability, and this is not against any third party as such, but it is only for our interest, for our bilateral relationship that will continue to grow, I'm confident, and achieve more heights.
And still, are there commitments that we have taken on?
This is not an internationally, legally obliging document, let me say, yes? It is not an international treaty as such. So, of course, entering in this relationship, both sides, which is what is written here, yes? Both sides, they are saying what? They are saying that we have to uphold the democracy. This is something that we want. This is not something that is imposed on us. This is not something that we have, okay, I mean, maybe we give something here and get something there. It's not like this. It's not working like this. This is a genuine partnership. It's not because what your question implies is this like there is something forced on us. No.
Not necessarily, just give and take.
Yeah, we can. But anyway, we can get this. Somebody can get this tone. No, this is a genuine relationship, and this is something that we want to do. And again, we want to uphold democracy. We want to uphold stability. We want to uphold prosperity. We want to trade with each other. We want to fight against international terrorism, international crimes, cyber threats, etc., etc. So this is something that both sides they want to get, and this is only like mutually reinforcing, mutually beneficial cooperation.
Thank you for this opportunity one more time. Let us end on this positive note for a change.